So Betsy, thanks for joining us here today. I'm 3 weeks out from turning 50.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you. So we're doing some of these videos talking about aging and some of the things that are important as we age. For me, thinking about like social connections, mental health, things like that nature. What do you see at Active Generations when it comes to making sure that people age appropriately in those kind of aspects, like the social and like the mental health?
Yeah, I think it's such an interesting transition as we go through life. We recently had a series at Active Generations about aging, and it was interesting. The professor from Augustana said, aging begins the day you're born.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes we view aging as certain milestones, when you hit 50, when you hit 60, when you hit 70. But in reality, it's how can we continue to build those connections to support you through transitions? And so at Active Generations, we're here for all adults, but we start to see people almost be embarrassed to come because it's this final step in life, when really connection is important throughout all of life. And as your relationships change, how do you find connection? And that's what we're here for at Active Generations, through our social clubs, our fitness programs, our nutrition programs, of how can we support, regardless of what age you are, that it's important.
Sure. So what are some of the things that people find really helpful when they're transitioning to different phases of their life? So like, we're going to be empty nesters here pretty soon. Yep. My two daughters are off at college. So what does that look like from a transitional standpoint?
I think that's a really important factor, is as our relationships change, how are you making new connections and learning new things and reaching out? Because it's hard to do those transitions where you might have had that natural connection with your daughter and their parents and all of that. And so Active Generations, we have over 50 social clubs. So maybe learning watercolor, going to the billiards room, going to a fitness class, playing pickleball. You create new connections with people in the similar stages of life,
sure,
which provides support in itself. Whether you might have just lost a spouse, that's hard. And when you can find that support system is so important. So it's really interesting from my perspective, when I watch these different support systems organically grow through the activities of Active Generations.
Okay. So the other thing is, we at AARP we talk a lot about being a sandwich caregiver. Where you're taking care of a older family member, or you're also at the same time worried about your kids, making sure that they're going through their life stages. Can you talk a little bit about like some of the things that you've seen from a mental health standpoint for that sandwich caregiver, but also from again maintaining those social connections?
Yeah, with mental health, I always believe in you have to fill your cup before you can fill the other's cups. And we see that a lot with caregivers, is they feel the weight of the world, especially that sandwich generation, taking care of their parents and taking care of children still. And so we have an amazing caregiver support program, whether it's support groups or really walking side by side in that process. And so I think it's really important sometimes we don't identify ourselves as a caregiver because we
Sure.
don't want that label, but
Right.
recognizing we all play some type of caregiver role in our lives. And so it's how do we recognize that and take care of ourselves? And I think that's an important part, is carving time out, carving 20 minutes on the treadmill to get that for yourself. Coming to wood carving, coming to watercolor, coming to a hiking club where we have golf club. Because it's really important that you take care of yourselves. And I think a lot of time in that caregiver role, you forget your own needs.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so it's important for us to remind ourselves it's okay to take care of our needs so we can take care of the needs of others.
So Betsy, thanks for the time today. Just quick, what are your 3 top tips for somebody as they're transitioning to a different phase of life or as they're aging?
I would say my number one is don't get complacent. It's sometimes easy to stay at home,
Okay.
but then that just gets easier and easier and harder to leave. And so take care of your physical health. So whether go out on the bike trails or come see us at Active Generations, also stay connected socially. Come eat with us, or join a group to talk about that, and never stop learning. I think that's the power of our brain, is we are always able to learn. And so I would love to show you some of the exciting things going on today to keep that brain and that body active.
Sounds great. Let's go check it. Nice shot. Maybe. But don't make me laugh. The struggle is real.